So we were thrilled,
That's really, really neat.
we got lucky with the weather. It rained a couple times and then we got a notification that there was, like a 40-mile-an-hour wind, hail and everything. And you could see it,
On the.
but it didn't quite.
Oh, it came over this way, like.
Yeah,
this
right
way.
over by the old trestle bridge.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, good day.
Sean.
Hi, Ann. Yeah, well, pleasure to be here, be seen.
I'm just hearing about Wisconsin.
Wow, what a fantastic.
It sounds so neat. Yeah, and the weather, because I was taking care of my mom in Topsom and all day long, I was like, sun, clouds, but it was beautiful and dramatic.
A couple of
We had a
patches.
rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Which is.
that's the Hawaii thing, you know, no rain, no rainbows.
That's right.
Good motto.
But the worst rain came through sort of in between bands
Oh,
and then people came back down later.
yeah,
For the-
Neat, so they might
for
have
the evening performance.
drifted away and then come back.
Yeah, so it made an active scene for the day.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we were really happy, because we had no idea what to expect.
Well, you never do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Give it a thing and when the community participates and enjoys it and get a good comment.
Yep.
That's fantastic, yeah.
That's great joy building, but it also exhausting.
Well,
yes.
We're talking about Sarah's level of fatigue. And why this meeting happened.
oh, well, I mean, gallivanting around the finest places in the world, that's probably, there's innovation, right?
Yeah.
Aw,
Fantastic.
No, so,
that's
have
great.
one more time.
That's a great picture.
Amazing. So I know Aaron's here and he was gonna come in, Sherry had another commitment, Peter let me know he couldn't come, and Carla couldn't come either. So, hi Aaron.
Hey, how you doing?
Big crowd tonight.
Yeah, sounds good.
The most important people though.
Yeah, the most important.
Here's the call key.
Oh.
That's really good. So anyway, and Emily can't make it either, so I thought we could be pretty short.
That's picking.
And then next month, we can go over both the, results of the workshop and the survey, because the
Sure.
survey will be closed.
Yeah,
But,
good point,
But
yeah.
I thought maybe we could, chat briefly about the first workshop and, possible dates for another one. And then also what folks might have for ideas for the last couple of weeks for the survey to get it out and get more people to, because do you know offhand what we're at now? I meant to check today. I mean, it's well over 200.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Yeah.
So better than the first time around.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just my stupid thinking, but, I was hoping maybe get 10% of the town with 3,700 people.
Oh, yeah,
But
that
I
would be
think we're a
nice.
little bit too far off, but.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's sort of notoriously
Do you
difficult to get.
pull 100 more people out of this?
I mean,
We
maybe.
might, I know, so that seems like the most important thing to me, like how to do that, I mean, certainly we can all do individual networking and stuff, but. How much does it cost to do like an ad in the local papers, is it super expensive? I don't even know.
Well, we could do another press release, couldn't we?
Or a press release, that's a good idea, if we can think, it'd be great to have some photograph, maybe from Warm Fest or something, I don't mean, something that will make
Or
people
that
look.
meeting?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, the Bond had some photos of the workshop.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
So,
good. Yeah, and then I think it could just be a really short, your
Oh,
conference.
you don't get your chance to speak up
video.
now.
Yeah, speak now, or
Yes.
whatever, hold your piece,
Well.
just really give them a kick and put the link on again and tell them we're a paper
It's
copy.
on the website, it's on Facebook,
Yeah,
I just put it on there again though.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Maybe we can see if the chamber would send it out again.
yeah,
They included it in one of their, at
The
least
chamber's
one.
got a pretty good spread too, that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
And I can
that's,
ask-
that's definitely all.
they're bugging part-time staff.
yeah,
Oh,
Vaguely.
I can, ask Terry to send it out to the Friends of Wisconsin list that she has.
yeah, that's a good idea, I mean, I
That's a
think
pretty
any
big
of
one.
those, any of those bigger networks.
Does the rec center have a list on here?
Yeah,
I can ask Delaney.
yeah, cause it's even former members, cause I'm not currently a member, but I get their alerts and everything, so they must have a pretty big list.
Right.
Yeah, that would be great. I think we could get to 370. You never know.
Oh, George Bush.
Just
Sort of
what-
push, I mean, that's, yeah, a good way to get the most, yeah, a
Right.
little push, little picture, a little
Yeah.
hula report, as you do so well. Thank you, I mean, your updates are much appreciated.
Well, hoping to do more of those.
Yeah.
Going forward.
You're doing very well.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you guys like
Thank you. Me too.
your, whatever guy that ran against you was on Facebook again today.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good, so I think that's a good list of places to go, would you have time to send a mini press release?
Yeah, I can,
Okay, sweet, thank you.
do you mind if I send it to you, though, for whatever?
Yeah, happy to look at it. So the first workshop we did, I thought went quite well, we had, what, 30 people
Yeah, about that.
roughly?
Yeah.
People were very into it though, very participatory, so I think that was good, and the good thing was, we have, lots more materials that Emily and Aaron put together, so we thought we could do another, the same one again, and just let people know if you went to the first one, you don't need to come to this one.
Oh,
And we would do it on a weeknight, so those who Saturdays weren't good for,
Right,
might be
That's
able
good.
to come to.
yeah.
I actually, I mean, I do have a couple more questions that I wouldn't mind adding, but I mean, we could do that at a separate meeting or like a, you know, maybe something that we do for economic development, which is separate from this process, but
Yeah, cause I think we need to figure out which ones we now need to dive in on, which that could be one of them.
because one of the things that I'd really like to suss out is find out more information about how people feel about offshore wind.
About what?
Oh, offshore wind,
Oh, about offshore wind because of all that, yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
And, you know, possible interconnection.
yeah, cause we talked briefly about, we'll need public feedback on that whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Cause the state's been talking about it, but they don't really,
Well, I'm prepared for it,
right,
so if
Yeah.
we have to make any zoning changes or make it more difficult. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyways. that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
or maybe even Aaron, I was also at the, Peter Arnold's presentation where Aaron was, maybe also even just get a little feedback on how they feel about using part of that property for clean energy generation, you know? I mean, something sort of broad, maybe,
yeah,
I don't know, you guys are much more informed about what's going on with the town and with that subject, but I think it might be interesting to get people's input.
yeah. Oh, and Cassie did send me. She couldn't make it tonight, but she did have a comment she wanted to throw out there in terms of, here it is, in terms of, the workshops and that kind of thing. She said, I think it would be really helpful to have a climate-focused public workshop that's cross-cutting across all chapters of the comp plan, given that it's an interdisciplinary issue that affects/is affected by just about all sectors. WCAT would be happy to plan and support that workshop in partnership with our committee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so,
that'd be neat.
Sounds good.
that makes sense for a number of things, both our committee and their committee and
And, yeah.
water fund and all of that.
Allow the conversation go a little bit deeper than just, do you care about climate change or whatever, so. that would be
Yeah.
fun.
Have an input in the surveys that we get here.
Yeah,
Planning for renewable power stuff, it really, there's you know, a tidal electric generation for the Gaswigan Narrows is something that Shawanki and the town of Wiscasset held the right for 5 years to explore that, and never did. It just expired. Because, Peter Arnold left at that time from
Right.
Shawanki, and he was doing that. But there is a tidal flow there just between the Westport Bridge and the Mason Station, where the underwater, contour necks down to a beautiful little nozzle. And it's really high velocity, clean flow, which is what you want for generating power. And what you would do is put a barge in there with impellers and a generator on it, and they would just take the tidal flow and pipe it into the switch yard at the Mason Station. Be very, to encourage, there are a couple of companies that are doing that. One up in Nova Scotia and of course Portland.
Well, what happens when our whale friend comes back though?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot of things to put on that list for that
Yeah,
workshop.
I do too.
Yeah.
If you wrote it.
So I think that can be an agenda item for the next one to talk to Emily about how she would suggest we structure those.
Sure.
So I had sent her an email, just asking if she had, evenings that were available, and didn't hear back, but I think it makes sense to just do that over email anyway, 'cause it would be nice to have as many of us there as we can too, so we can send out dates and see when the majority of people are free.
And I'm raising a probably unpopular issue, but, sometimes people say, okay, July and August, we'll take a break on this committee and we'll reconvene in September, but I don't know if that's something you guys have knocked around at all, or if you think that's too lax.
I'm a big believer in that all committees ever should always take at least 1 month off.
You're thinking
Unfortunately, select board doesn't have that,
Your nose is to the grindstone.
yeah, I feel like we should do 2 months off, only because we're finally
Getting
getting
some
some
momentum.
traction and
Yeah, I
momentum.
agree.
But I understand your concern, particularly with even trying to schedule stuff, so.
Well, I mean, July's gonna be very hard for me, but it's not really about me, I was just wondering if that was sort of a rhythm, like, but I agree with you that we have some momentum now. And to go for 2 months, I think it could fizzle.
Cause I wonder if we could get in the July meeting and then have scheduled several of the workshops, and even if we all can't make it to those, if we could keep going with them.
Yeah.
And then we don't necessarily have to meet in August, but we'll still keep the process going.
Yeah, good thought.
So I actually had another thought for a theme meeting, and just, it's sort of time specific, but, not knowing Wisconsin entirely, it seems to me that we might wanna capture a certain clientele in the community. I know they're not necessarily all taxpayers, but
In terms of seasonal,
yeah. But, I mean, is there an issue that, some issues that we wanna kind of capture that we feel like, that we want our seasonal folks to kind of have waiting on?
Conceivably, the historic and archaeological resources, because there are quite a few, I mean, you know better than I do, but I feel like there are quite a few summer people in the village or people come. And they might be interested in getting input on that.
yeah, I mean, I would hope,
Public services, I don't know, is there something that we would wanna offer, or do we offer, I'm just trying to think, that would be more seasonal, please.
I think one thing, well, I think there's a whole bunch of folks who are back or almost back, if they're coming. So I'm hoping that this last push for the survey might capture at least a few
Good
of them. Cause as you know, we have lots of options on there in terms of how long you live in town during the year. I also wonder, I don't wanna add more to our plate, but whether it would be worth having any kind of presence at like Art Walk or whatever. Not like a full survey or anything, but I don't know.
You mean like a table, just saying,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing?
With the
Yeah.
scan code block on the front of the table that people go walk by with their phones and go banging and take them right to the survey.
Yeah,
Except it's supposed to close on the end at the.
Oh, is that? Okay.
yeah, so, well, but there is one art,
Before the end of
Well,
June.
still, I don't know if you wanna have another survey, but like a more abbreviated one that's like, maybe. Like the burning kind of question type survey, like,
yeah,
like maybe just like 5 questions or something, or 10 questions, but very simple. I don't know. I know, getting more work.
yeah, because I think it's 27th. this month,
Oh.
the first art walk.
Okay.
So I wonder if we want to, and I'm happy to take a shift,
Anything-
to have a little table out there with the survey, since it will be still open.
Okay,
And like you said, Sean, we'll have the QR code that people can scan.
That would be great.
We might get a few more folks that way.
you get people walking by.
And then maybe at our next meeting, we could think about, is there some sort of productive thing we could do, whether it's a shorter survey or even just advertising workshops coming up.
Yeah.
Future ones. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Get the word out, keep people thinking about it.
Definitely. I think that sounds good. And so will you put out an appeal for people to help you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, cause I probably won't be able to do the first shift, but I can do the later one.
Well, that's tons of gaps in all the recurring,
Help out with that?
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm
You
paid
can help out
staff,
with
so I
that.
can go. sit
Oh,
down.
okay.
And get paid while doing it.
We can have a glass of wine and.
Yeah, we'll bring in a glass of wine.
Those art walks are really fun. I know, it's an in-town activity, it's just,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
great, it's good photos.
Well, it might be interesting, cause it's just another group of people too. that
Yeah,
May or
true.
may not have filled out the survey, so.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so I will, send out an email about, both helping out with art walk, but more importantly, scheduling a repeat workshop, the introductory workshop we just did, for a weeknight at some point in the next few weeks, cause Emily's the most important person we need to make sure
Yes,
is
that's
there.
crucial.
And then at our next meeting, we will go over the survey results, the workshop results,
Okay.
and talk about, future art walks or any other community events that could be helpful for us to have a presence at.
Okay.
And schedule future workshops. So we'll have a very busy next meeting.
Yeah, I guess so. So I had some thoughts about, the next workshop and I'll just hold them till we meet and
Okay.
can we can talk about it. They're minor.
Sounds good. And I will do better getting the agenda out sooner.
Oh, I
Oh,
just,
no worries.
yeah, no worries.
I can do my best.
I know. Yeah, I was just saying, my life is gonna calm down a bit since Warrenfest.
That's what you think.
That's what-
Yeah, yes, it was. All right,
Thank
Great.
you.
Good,
sounds good. Thank you.
good to see ya.
Yeah,
Too.
thanks for